Hey percussionists, this is the third tutorial for rock and roll, the snare solo. We're going to do today measure 9 through 14. 9 through 14. Okay, and you're going to want to get out a pencil today because we're going to mark a couple things in our book that will help to make this even smoother when we get there. But I'm going to start by going and playing from 9 to 13. We start on the beat, so make sure you're doing that. And we're back to our tempo of 53 for good practice and solid start. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, E and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, E and 1, and 2, E and 3, E and 4, and 1, and 2, and 1. Okay, and that's where everybody freaks out. Oh my God, the sticks went behind the back. We'll get to that. But let's start with measure 9 first. Okay, so that pencil I asked you to have, go grab it, pause the video, go get it. And then we're going to look at measure 9. There are 3 flams in measure 9. Okay, find the first one. You're going to mark an S above the first one because it is a switch flam. The second flam, it's on the and of 2. You're going to mark an S for a switch flam. Then the third flam, though, you're going to mark an R for a rebound. So remember, a switch flam means you're up like this, your hands switch positions. If it's a rebound, it comes back to the same position. And that's going to be important for our accent we have at the end of the measure. So if you look, you'll notice that we'll have a left-handed flam and then a left-handed tap. We're actually playing part of a rudiment here at the beginning, and that is the rudiment flam tap. Okay, so if you know your flam tap well, this will be perfect because you'll already know how to do your switch flams and make that happen. So we start out, and we can start out by just hitting the right hand, and then we get in our hands in position for the left flam. So the left hand has to pop up somewhere in there, okay? And then we're doing a switch flam. So we're going to switch, then the left hand does a tap, that's on beat 2. Then we do our next switch flam, the right hand taps on beat 3. Then we do a rebound with the left hand. So we're ready for the accent that's on for E and okay? So doing that slow, we're looking at measure 9. We're going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, E and 1. Okay? Let's try the first half of the measure first. Just the flams at the beginning. 1 and 2 and 3 and leave out beat 4. Let's do that with the metronome a couple times. And 1 and ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Did you do your flams with the right motions? Try it again. And 1, 2, ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Okay, now practice that a couple times if you're not quite comfortable with it yet. But let's practice starting on beat 3. So I'm going to hit a right hand hit, a left hand rebound flam, and then 4 E and then I'll hit a beat 1 with the right hand that's not an accent. So I'll go like this: 3 and 4 E and 1, 3 and 4 E and 1. Let's try that with the Met. Okay, we're starting on beat 3 of measure 9. And 1, 2, ready, go. 3 and 4 E and 1. Again, ready, go. 3 and 4 E and 1. Okay, let's put that with the rest of the measure and play all of measure 9. 1, 2, set, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and 1. One more time, ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and 1. If your motions are all in place, it makes it so you can play really relaxed and there's no extra in there. And when you go faster, that's going to make a huge difference. Now, we're going to go ahead and skip measure 10 for just a second. Go to measure 11. Measure 11, if I start without the 5-stroke roll that's leading into that, I have exactly the same measure that we just played. Okay, measure 11 and measure 9 are the same. Good music a lot of times has little chunks that repeat and are the same, and they kind of work as themes. Okay, so we're looking at 11, and let's play it once. Ready? And 1, 2, ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and 1. Notice at the end, I pop my right hand up. That's because the right hand accent is coming next. But I'll add one more thing to that. Let's add the 5-stroke roll leading in, just like we did at the top of the page. Okay, so then this is mezzo forte. So we're going to start on the upbeat of 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. E and a 1. Okay, now at the beginning of the song, when we did our 5, we popped our left hand up, and we also want to do it here, so we're ready for these flam accents. Notice, though, that in this section, that flams are actually accented, okay? Part of the flam tap rudiment there. So accent your flams on measure 11 and on measure 9. So I have the 5-stroke roll lead in, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, E and a 1. Okay, let's look at measure 10. Okay, measure 10 is very similar in some ways. Grab your pencil again. It has 2 flams at the beginning. The first one is going to be a switch flam, put an S above it. Second flam is going to be a rebound flam, which, hey, that's different than measure 9, right? And then there's a flam after the roll. That one's going to need to be a switch flam, so you can put an S above that. So let's look at measure 10 super, super slow. We're going to go like this. We got our left hand up, ready for a flam. We'll go 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1. Okay, let's look at just a little bit of like half of the measure, okay? So we'll do 1, switch, tap, rebound. That's the first thing to get. 1, switch, tap, rebound. Do that again. 1, switch, tap, rebound. And then I'm ready to do a 5-stroke roll in there. Okay? 1 and 2 and 3 E and I have to end my 5-stroke roll with my hand up. So let's do just that much through the 5. Okay, here's measure 10. 1, 2, ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 E and. Okay, do that again. 1, 2, ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 E and. Okay, now we're going to add one thing. We're just going to add the left hand flam. Okay, so we'll do 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4. And I want that left hand flam to switch, so I'm ready to come into a right hand 5-stroke roll. Okay, let's try that. 1, 2, ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4. Then all I have to do is add the diddle diddle tap at the end. Okay, let's try measure 10. 1 and 2 and ready and go. And 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1. Okay, and I'm ready to go for measure 11 that we already worked on. Now let's look at 12. On 12 I have this. I have a non-accent 1, then and 2 E and. The rhythm is important here. 1 and 2 E and. Count that with me. Ready, go. 1 and 2 E and. Okay, so I lift 1 and 2 E and. Let's practice just that by itself with the met. 2, ready, go. 1 and 2 E and. Mezzo forte, ready, go. 1 and 2 E and. Okay, let's look at the end half of the measure. We've got a 5-stroke roll that's on the beat, so I have 3 E and then I have a flam. And I don't care which kind of flam you do, because there's nothing after it, okay? You can do a rebound, just as long as you don't do and do both hands at the same time. Okay, so 3 E and 4. Try that. 2, ready, go. 3 E and 4. Now, I am going to add one thing, though, and that is on the and of 4, where there's no sound, right? There's no notes anymore. We're going to put our sticks together. So 3 E and 4. And we'll come in together. So let's try that measure with that in there. Measure 12. 1, 2, ready, go. 1 and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and then our sticks are together. Try it again. 1, 2, ready, go. 1 and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and. Okay, now going around the back, I've put my sticks together in on and. I'm going to go 1 and 2. So I've got 1 and 2. So every time I grab it, it's a number, right? So I'm going to go 1 and 2. Okay, this is my right hand. I don't know what it looks like there on the video, if it's mirrored or not, but my right hand's coming around the back and my left hand's grabbing, and then I'm going. Now as I do that, I want to keep my sticks the same direction. So I want the sticks to stay flat, so that when I come back here and I come out tips of the stick are both going the same direction. So if I came in the same way here, I keep them flat when I go around the back, they should come back to the same place here. Okay, so in time. So I have 3 and 4, and 1 and 2, and then on the and, I pop the sticks out, and I'm going to hit on beat 1, okay, of measure 14, and then we're going to stop. So let's try measure 12 and the 2-bar flip around the back thing, okay? Counting is important. Make sure you're doing that. 2, 1, 2, ready, go. 1 and a 2 E and 3 E and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1. Easy. Do it again. 2, ready, go. 1 and a 2 E and 3 E and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1. Okay, it's all in time, and that will help you rest the proper amount also. Okay, so now what we need to do is go back and put 2 measure chunks together. So we're going to take measure 9 and 10 and put those 2 together, lock them together. Make sure you're getting your flams the right motion, because that really helps in your fluidity when you're playing. 2 and 1, 2, ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and a 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 and a 1. Try that again. 1, 2, ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and a 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 and a 1. Now, what I often hear, I've heard this solo a million times, a million different students, is this sound. See if you can tell what's wrong with this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and a 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 and a 1. What's happening? Both of my sticks are lifting, and I'm hitting kind of together. It's not perfectly together, but it's kind of together. Those are called flat flams, and we don't want that. We want this sound. Okay, nice and open that we really can tell that it's a flam. Otherwise, why have a flam there, right? Okay, so let's shift it over. Let's do measures 10 and 11 together. 2 and 1, 2, ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and a 1. Try it again. And measure 10, set, go. 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and a 1. Okay, now let's do the pick up to measure 11. So we'll start on the 5-stroke roll and do an 11 and 12 together. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and a 1 and a 2 E and 3 E and 4 and. Sorry, that was a little that was lame at the end. Coming in on the and of 4. Try it again. 2, ready, go. 1. Let me count that off too. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and a 1 and a 2 E and 3 E and 4 and. Okay, now we've already done 12 and the rest together. So let's go ahead and start at 9 and go all the way to 14. Okay, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 9, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and O. Keep your flams open. 2 and 3 E and 4 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and a 1 and a 2 E and 3 E and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1. Okay. Okay, so the next thing to do is, of course, to speed it up a little bit. Okay, get your metronome a little bit faster. Play the chunk. See if you need to do it again. Need to break it down a little bit more. But go through your process, because 53 is okay, but really we're shooting for more in the range of the 80s. All right, we'll see you next time.